Welcome back to another episode of The Adventure Guys. We have had a crazy busy last few months, but we've finally got our bikes back recently and we've been doing a ton of upgrades to them. It's all been done actually. We're sitting here in Page, Arizona. We've had a great time traveling in the backcountry with them now. We've got a ton of epic content that'll be coming your way soon.
Peter and Dan here from the Adventure Guys channel. For the past 5 years, we've been living off the grid and overlanding to some of the most remote places on Earth. Join us as we continue on the journey, bringing you an all-new perspective from the saddle of our adventure bikes.
All right, so we are now in Arizona. We're actually in Flagstaff, Arizona, or just outside of it. That's the main mountain there above the city. But we're in some state park here, kind of in the backcountry a bit, and we've had a few days to explore around with the Jeeps. We've been kind of collecting things, getting the last bit done to the bikes, and really getting prepped to hit the Arizona PDR. Right now we are just going to be going on a road to some really nice camp that Dan and I found during our exploration, and kind of as we were breaking in our new tires. Like Dan's hardly even have the little hairs off of them. Mine probably have about 80 miles on the tire so far, and I'm just loving them. As you know, as we've said before, mine are the Moto Z RAL-Z tires, which are about a 90% off-road, 10% on-road split. And then, Dan?
Mine's the Moto Z Tractionator Adventure tires. They're about a 25-75. 25 on-road, 75 off-road.
Yeah, those are epic tires. Alright, so this little dirt road can take you to a ton of different campgrounds. It's actually a really nice place because you're about 18 minutes or so outside of the main city center basically of Flagstaff, and all the places you'd have to go for anything you'd really need, be that fuel, gas, even a KTM dealer is right in town. Almost a year ago now we bought our goggles there. So anyways, it's great because you just take a short drive on the highway into town and you're there. Obviously, like most of these state parks, the closer you are to the entrance of the place itself, the more campers there will be. So you can really see around, there's a few campers here and there, but almost all of the trails into the camps that these people are at leads. You can go further and further into the backcountry, and it leads to some pretty remote and really nice little camps. I've been using this time, the last 80 miles, kind of going around this area to test out my new Recluse clutch. It's the Recluse Radius X clutch for the KTM 690, and it's pretty incredible. But in general, it's been a pretty crazy last few months where we haven't had much time to do what we love doing, and that's riding on bikes in the backcountry. So this next few weeks is going to be full of epic adventures as we hit the Arizona PDR, get up into Utah again, and hit the Utah PDR as we head north up country. Jeeps have had a lot done to them as well. A bunch of new lighting most recently, but then full JXL camper builds on them, which is really nice, isn't it? Right here.
Yeah, this is the road.
So we take it right here, and a lot of KC lighting for when we're traveling at night, which, as you would have seen in our Colorado series, especially on Epic Family Road Trip channel, we got into some pretty sketchy situations at night, and we didn't have the lighting we would have wanted. So now the Jeeps are pretty well decked out for any situation like that. Tonight's going to be a good time to test out all the new lighting as well.
Alright, so both Jeeps got their tires deflated, and we're ready to make our way into camp.
So while we're sitting still here for a second, just to quickly explain my Recluse, as I'm going with the Radius X clutch, because I think they have a whole bunch of different options, but I believe for the KTM there's maybe only one, maybe two. One of them being what I chose, the Radius X. It's not quite an auto clutch, and I don't know all the science to it, but what I do know is that once I'm going, like at least above second gear, and the clutch is warmed up, I can shift without pulling in the clutch lever, while still retaining that manual clutch use. So I can still use the clutch with my fingers to do whatever I need to, pop the front tire. If you do wheelies, you could definitely do wheelies. I've had really bad experiences with that. And just building up momentum, you can still do all of that. But if you're in a tight situation, going up a hill or anything, I can just shift down without even having to think about using my shift lever, as well as I can come to a stop in first gear and it won't stall. So you're virtually unstallable in these bikes. Now that's been kind of cool, just testing it a little bit. We'll see once we're on a real trail for a couple thousand miles how that goes, because using the Radius X, if you come up to a hill, even if you stop in gear, you're still gonna roll backwards. You don't have that, like, it won't hold, it just slips all the time. So yeah, and then the engine brake does work, but it's different. Like if you go from second to first gear on clutch, it'll really kick down. But on this, I have the same thing, but if I'm going, and I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. I haven't had enough time to really tell you how it works that well, but it's been pretty cool so far. What I do know is that the Recluse and how they work, the Radius X, I believe, is their like torque drive kit, as well as that auto slipper clutch in one. So their torque kit adds more friction pads and I don't know, more of those pads that make a clutch work to the clutch itself, so that you have more torque, a longer wear life, a better clutch feel, all those things kind of in one. So I've seen some mixed reviews on the Radius X. A lot of what I see on reviews are from like 2014, and they've definitely come a long way since then, and made some adjustments to any problems that they had. But for me, I looked at wear life. These are supposed to last about 4 times as long as a normal clutch, and then having that option to just shift through a problem without having to think about the clutch and not stalling on a hill seems pretty nice to me.
Yeah, just to clarify, my bike does not have the clutch, the Recluse.
Yeah, Dan's is still the regular factory KTM clutch in the bike, but we're gonna continue on down the trail here. Both are great. Actually, like riding Dan's bike, I totally love it, and I mostly use my clutch all the time anyway, even though I can just use the auto clutch. I just want to, you know, keep up the habit since we're in our first year of riding motorcycles, and I really like using the clutch to get through obstacles and things. On top of the Radius X clutch on my bike, we also got the Venacci rear brake pedal. This is replacing our OEM pedals, obviously. Mine is, I mean, most people say they're spaghetti. Like as soon as you fall over, that thing can bend into your case.
Which obviously happened to you more than once.
Yep, it punctured my case when I fell on my side. It just bumped into a rock and went straight into my case. The thing folded over and punctured right here. So we replaced them with the Venacci ones. These are full billet aluminum, cut from one piece of solid aluminum, the entire brake pedal, and then we attached their brake pad here at the end, which is much better, much thicker, just way stronger and nicer all around. Like you can't even compare the two, as well as these ones look way better. On top of that, down here I got the Trail Jammer Designs case back over my clutch case, which is really nice. Great peace of mind. The thing saved my case from having a, you know, catastrophic damage done to it from the pedal hitting. And then this one is also kind of special. The owner, Kane, will make for some enduro guys that he sells these to, and then he made it for me since I ended up breaking or puncturing the other one and seemed to be accident prone. One that's slightly thicker. It looked like it said on the back 0.63 of an inch of aluminum added to that case, which is really nice for deflecting material, but also for stopping punctures and really bad damage and dents that happen. So as you can see on Worsley right now, we have our classic Pro 6, which we've had up there for almost 2 years now. It's been a really great light bar for us. But on front, we also got two new, I believe they're It's their Gravity, KC's Gravity single LEDs on front on the bumper with their amber covers. So the Gravity lights by KC are basically single versions of what's in your Pro 6. The Pro 6 has 8 lights on it, and it's a great bumper light. And then on Vandy, we'll show you later, but we did kind of a more retro look on that one, and it turned out really, really cool. But Worsley having the dust lights up front is great for us to be able to see them when we're ahead. And then on the rear Vandy, I'll show you later, we got some 2 new Flex single LEDs with the amber lights.
Right, so I'm splitting off here, and I'm gonna kind of show off some of these trails near here and talk about my tires and everything, kind of show how they all work while Peter leads them into camp. And then I'll meet them at camp later. So the terrain in this whole area is really nice for riding. It's a soft sand. We had a rain about 2 nights ago, so there's still some moisture, especially in the forest, which gives these tires a nice test, especially in ruts like the one I'm in right now. But if I remember correctly, this is just a longer way to get to the same camp we're heading at, so. Fun hills and stuff like that all over the place. All around, great spot to ride. Probably gonna be, I mean, maybe not me, but the Peter with the Jeeps will probably be coming around just as that beautiful sunset goes behind the mountains. With the new gearing, I'm still trying to figure out, what speed and stuff to be in each gear, since now it's a lot different. But one thing I have noticed is it seems like first gear is pretty much, you only really stay in it when you're first starting because it's a lot slower now. And second gear is pretty much the new first gear. So when you're going about 17 miles an hour, 20, I'd shift to second gear, 30, third, and so on. Looking forward to see how the KC highlights on Vandy are going to be. We've had the Pro 6 for a while on Worsley and absolutely love them. But it's been a while since Vandy's got some new lights. So it's going to be cool. It already looks 1,000 times better. Vandy has always been one of my favorite Jeeps, not only because of it's ours, but I just love the Arctic edition. We've had it for so long, and it's just really a classic. It's been everywhere with us. It served us well, so to see some new pieces going on is really nice. The ability to go slower over terrain like I just went over is really nice. Be able to pick a nice line, go smooth riding. And probably pretty soon here I'm gonna turn back around, meet up with the Jeeps, and then also probably do some light tests on both the Jeeps, which is gonna be cool to see. It's been a long couple months, really busy without the bikes. So to get into a beautiful camping area like this, just as the sun is setting, is gonna be really nice.
Well, Dan's back.
Had a nice little ride, talked about some of the stuff and kind of showed off the trails here, but I'm back with the convoy now. You guys are almost to the camp if we end up staying at the camp. The lights look amazing. I was talking about how we put them on and we haven't really got to see how bright they are or what they can do, so it's gonna be cool to see. So we've just been making our way through, and the camp that I thought we were talking about wasn't the camp we were talking about. That camp's quite a bit farther, so we still got ways to go tonight. At least we'll be putting the lights through a nice test. Even ours, I love ours. Low beam compared to high beam is really nice. So I'm not sure if my mic has fallen out or not, but I now understand the spot Peter was talking about, and this is it. Coming to this little cattle guard. Man, I really love the 690s. These are just such capable bikes. They're definitely a lot more capable than we are, like our riding skill. I mean, we could use these bikes for years to come, learning every day, and you know, still not tap into its full potential. But I don't mind riding at night. It's a lot of fun. You just have to be careful, obviously, especially with wildlife in the area, like around here. But I can hear Peter and the Jeeps coming now, and we're getting close to camp. I'm excited for camp. I'm pretty tired. Look forward to a good meal and a good rest. Definitely looking forward to the BDR coming up soon. It's been too long. Alright, so we finally pulled into camp a little later than we thought. We actually went to a different camp than the one we had originally planned, but I really like this one. So that was a long night, pretty tired. I'm not sure if we're cooking dinner or not. We might just go to bed and then wake up and make a big breakfast to make up for it, but it's an awesome night of riding.
Thank you for watching this episode of The Adventure Guys. Make sure to stay tuned as we continue to explore around Arizona and head on to the Arizona PDR.